Hello, my loves. Welcome, Taurus, and all of you who have Taurus placements. This reading is going to be showing you every thought, action, behavior, belief, habit that you need to start doing more of, stop doing, this is not helping you, as well as continue doing because, mwah, chef's kiss, you are already doing an amazing job. Now, I developed, if you haven't gotten a reading with me before, I developed this reading from a professional development practice that I turned into like a personal development practice by making it into a card reading. I feel like this is a really great way, and in professional environments, to be like, huh, what am I doing well and what do I need to do more of? Like, how am I, falling behind? But in reality, when we're doing it for personal growth reasons and personal development reasons, we have blind spots. So that's why I wanted it to be the cards who get to tell us, what we need to do more of and less of because it's not helping us, it's not serving us. But I've also added a little bit something here. We have obstacle cards as well that are going to show you how you might be blocking yourself, or thoughts, actions, behaviors, beliefs that are blocking you from making all of these changes and making all these choices that you might have just been like sitting on for a while, because you needed this confirmation, you needed some clarity around it so that you can actually step into what you probably already know is right for you. Now, today, y'all have the Mood Tarot cards, which is traditional tarot but just made like extra silly. So y'all are going to see this very silly version of all of these traditional tarot messages. And I'll just start off by saying y'all have a lot of major arcana cards in here. If you don't know much about tarot, there is a major arcana and there is a minor arcana. Minor arcana is going to show you sort of like the hills and valleys, in terms of like maybe the trees, if we talk about that. Whereas the major arcana is going to show you the forest. It's going to show you like an entire landscape. It's going to show you the map overall, as opposed to just hills, valleys, and individual trees. Okay. So the major arcana is going to show you some major shit. It's going to talk about some major themes. And because there are 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards in here, 5 actually, I miscounted. I am going to assume that all of my Taurus people, it's either been a while since you've had a reading, or you just really needed to be listening at this time, because when I see a lot of major arcanas show up in a reading, that usually tells me like this is a big deal and y'all need to fucking pay attention. So so with that in mind, I also just want you to take some time to breathe, get some water, ground yourself. I know for Taurians, your home is your bed. So if you want to get in bed and snuggle up so that you can be comfortable, get out a journal and paper, a paper and pen, or journal and pen, so that you can take some notes as you're going and help you to sort of alchemize some of the things that you're going to be hearing. And I'm going to take a sip with you, okay? So make sure that you get your water. Make sure you get nice and comfortable before we begin. All right, so we are going to start with your continue cards. Your continue cards are very fun. First, we've got the Two of Swords, which says, you guys still there? And then we also have the World card, which is the Uno in here. And it says, better luck next time, and also, you're drunk. Plus, in addition, your other continue card is the Devil card, which is free weed and chocolate. And you can see the devil actually has a joint in his hand. And I didn't notice that until seeing this card for this particular reading. And it's funny because I do associate with Taurus a lot of that sort of, not necessarily hedonism, but self-medication in a way. So it's very funny that y'all got this in your continue position. This is your cheering section. This is like, great job. You're already doing the thing, which is funny because, you wouldn't think that the devil would show up in like a, yeah, keep being the devil, but that's not really what it means. It's not like, keeping the worst thing on, in existence. But the devil card and the world card coming together with the Two of Swords paints a picture of y'all having been in this place of maybe not being sure where to go next and having a couple of different directions minimum, at least two different directions that you could go in your life. And one of the things that has been on your mind is just doing whatever the fuck you want. One of those options has been the free weed and chocolate option. And I love that on here it's like, hey, my tail is on fire, and they're like, should we get going then? And it's like, nah, just pass the chocolate. Because what that tells me is y'all have been considering taking a path that leads you to a funner world and a better world for you that feels more inviting, feels even more intoxicating in a way. Y'all have been thinking about this and wanting to do it for a while, and maybe just started taking that path and really starting to get settled mentally settled on, I'm making this choice now. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do this version of the thing that I've been wanting to do that feels like the free weed and chocolate route, that feels more like the fun and light and free and easy route. And I also see it in the way that you've got, here are two more of your major arcanas. In your stop position, in the stop position of this spread, we have the Tower card, which is bam, bitch, as well as the Love card, which is ew. So you can feel free to pause and read those if you would like. So we've got these two cards in your stop position because the Tower and the Love card coming together are trying to help you understand that you might have been following people you love into all of these burning towers and not realizing that they were burning or that they had like black mold on the inside. Like what it said, the tower was full of black mold and cocaine thieving ghosts anyway. You've been following people into these people that you trust, people that you admire, people that you want to spend more time with, friends, family, loved ones, into all of these towers thinking like, okay, well, if they're having fun there and they're doing something that they enjoy, then, why not just try it? Why not just give it a try? And yet you find out once you're in there, like, oh shit, they're eating a certain flavor of shit in this shit sandwich, and that's not the flavor of shit that I enjoy. Like, I'm not going to put up with black mold. I might put up with cocaine thieving ghosts. What does it say? Yeah, cocaine thieving ghosts. But I'm not going to put up with black mold. So you've been following people into situations where you need to stop trusting others to know what is going to be a good situation or not a good situation. You've been sort of playing your own devil's advocate by way of saying maybe they're right. And in the background, you're saying, well, maybe I'm wrong. But the maybe I'm wrong is coming from not being clear on what you want and not really trusting yourself to make those decisions. So if you're not clear on what you want, you might just follow somebody else into something that they want and that they have chosen for themselves and that they're having a great time, great being relative, great time doing. because you're just trying to find the next thing that makes sense. And I see that in your obstacle cards. We've got the Eight of Pentacles, and we also have the Karma's a Bitch card. We have the Justice card. And it says, time to eat your karma cookies. Hope you didn't make with poison. Okay? So what these are saying is the way that you've been blocking yourself, and you continue to block yourself, because again, a major arcana card, when this shows up, any of the ones that have had the strip with the name on the bottom have been major arcana cards. So this is the fifth one. Anytime we see a major arcana card, it's like this is something you've been doing. This is like a major overarching theme. And what it's saying is you continue to poison your own well and then drink from it because you're not just trusting yourself. And by not trusting yourself, you're putting all of your creative energy and all of your love and your labor into things that you don't really truly believe in, or that you feel like is working for the devil. And it says that, diligently filling orders for the Dark Lord. So you've been kind of impressing upon yourself and impressing upon other people that you'll, ride or die, that you'll follow them into whatever, crusade that they want to be on, because you're like, yeah, I mean, I see justice there. Like, I see karma there. I see some kind of karmic pattern that I've always wanted to step into, or that I just feel called to at this point in my life. And without really doing your own research, or without paying attention to the way that you're contributing to poisoning your own cookies that you are then going to later eat, you're giving all of your energy and attention to something that's not really for you. And we've got in your start cards here, I love this one. It's the I hate mom, I love mom. This is the Three of Swords. 3 is a number that evokes harmony, evokes the intention to find harmony. And swords is about mental energy. It's about where your mind goes when you are trying to seek harmony. So if you keep sort of blaming other people for how you feel, you might have created the story in your mind that no matter what you do, no matter who you trust, it's not going to work out. But in reality, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust that all of the lessons that you've learned up until now were things that you needed to learn in the way that you learned it. And you need to recognize that, while you have all of this desire to just have fun in the things that you do, so you follow fun people around, hoping that the fun will follow you too, and that the fun will be there for you too, you have to start making your own fun. You have to start finding the things that you love and that you enjoy, and not necessarily expecting other people to be the fun there and to create all of the goodness that you would like to experience. Okay, so start seeing yourself as the arbiter of your own good time. And we've got the 5 and 6 of Pentacles. And the 5 is saying, there's some lovely filth over here, Dennis. And the 6 is somebody giving crumbs to a peasant and saying, it's expired. So the 5 and 6 of Pentacles, of coins, whatever you want to call them, they call them devil cats in this deck. And here's like a devil message again. You've got 3 pentacles, 3 devil cats in here, okay? What the 5 and 6 of the Pentacles in your start position are trying to say is take some perspective. In the minor arcana, like I said, there are hills and valleys. The 5 is the middle of that. We have Ace, 5, 10. We've got through that entire spectrum, 5 is that point where it's like you've reached the peak of whatever lesson, of whatever experience that you're meant to experience. And it's time for you to take perspective. It's time for you to look around and be like, okay, am I glad to be here? Or do I need to find a different way to get down this mountain? Do I need to find a different way out of here and get, like, helicopter airlifted out of this situation and just say, this ain't for me anymore, bye forever, see you never? Or do you need to take next steps to get down the mountain, continue learning the rest of this lesson, continue moving through whatever it is that you came there for, and really squeeze all the juice out of the experience? Now, it's really up to you. The 6 is about mixing up whatever you have in your environment so that you can fix things, so that you can solve problems. 6 is solution oriented and wants you to start seeing yourself in all the situations that have expired, that have gone bad for you, and even take account of all of those patterns. Like, go back into all of the times when that's happened to you and be like, okay, I'm starting to see how I started out in this situation because of X, Y, and Z. I thought I was going to get X, Y, and Z out of it, but what I really got was X, Y, and Z. You just do that for as many situations as applies as possible, where you felt like, I went into something that I thought was going to be free weed and chocolate, and actually it had expired. Actually, it had expired before I even got there. There was black mold, and I needed to get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. Okay? Take account of as many situations like that as possible, because I don't think you're going to necessarily find exactly what your next thing is yet, but over the next couple of weeks up until, mid-December, when we switch out of Sag season into our next season, we are going to be needing you to pay attention to those patterns, to take stock, and to recognize that if you want to live a life that is tailored to the kind of fun and the kind of freedom and the kind of enjoyment and pleasure that you want to experience and that you totally deserve, the thing that's blocking you is you poisoning your own well and you holding grudges against yourself for all the ways that you might have fucked things up. And that's not to say that you fuck everything up. And that's not to say that you were 100% to blame for all of the fuckery that has happened up until now. That's just to say, take stock, take accountability, and that way you can move on to the next thing when it starts to reveal itself to you in the next 2 to 3 weeks. You're going to have that clarity that you need to see through a different perspective and to see from a different lens. Because where you're at right now, you're just going to end up feeling frustrated and confused and stuck. And you might fall back into that default pattern of, I'm just going to trust somebody else. I'm going to follow them into their tower and try and rescue their princess with them, instead of choosing my own thing and baking my own cookies without the poison in them. No black mold this time, just weed. So make sure that you are taking stock, taking accountability, and flipping things so that you're framing them in a positive way, in a way that helps you to really reconstruct the narrative that you've been living with, right? If you would like some more help and more guidance, more clarity on all of these different facets of everything that I've just said, you can get a personal reading with me, and we can do it either live or I can pre-record it and send it to you. So there is a link in the caption below that is going to take you to the page where you can schedule readings with me. I've also got on my Patreon, I have a $5 tier that is not only for you to support all of the free readings that I will be doing here on YouTube, but also for you to have the opportunity and the chance to get a free reading raffled. So I'll raffle a free reading every single month through my Patreon and through Patreon only. So the number of people in there is pretty low right now, and you have a very good chance of winning it if you join now. But if you feel like I don't really know enough about this yet, or I don't have the money to invest in more clarity so that I can make decisions with confidence, then head over to Patreon and go and subscribe for $5 a month so you can get a chance to get that free reading. And I hope that you know that you're deserving of all the love you desire. So I hope you check out all of these options, because staying in the dark, staying in that flipped up, upside down, I hate mom perspective, we don't want you to stay there, right? We don't want to stay there. We want to be here. We want to be in the I love mom perspective, okay? So I love you. I hope you know that you're deserving of all the love you desire. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. See you, baby. Mwah.